Okay, good morning world. Slept another night back here in the truck. Everything was just peachy. Had my propane stove going for a few minutes to warm it up. Then after that, you're good to go. It's not insulated yet. I think that'll help. But once you get under the covers, you're good to go. You've got 2 horse blankets and then kind of a cheap comforter. No big deal. I still got my really warm sleeping bag in the front of the truck. I'll probably bring that back if it gets any colder, but right now we're doing pretty good. I still sleep with, sweats on and everything, so it keeps me pretty good. Alright. This is Tuesday morning the 12th. It's about 8:30 in the morning. We're out on the ranch. There's the sun. The wind is blowing. The hills are pretty hazy over there. That's east, obviously, because the sun. There's the motorcycle. And to the west, the wind is blowing that way. So, for this morning, we're going to go back in the bus for a little bit. Turn on the inverter. Sun is shining. Got some solar charging already. There's our panels. Got the generator. I ran that yesterday for an hour to bring the battery back up. Sun is getting pretty low. You can see where the shadow is. We only get a couple of really good hours of sun now. Still haven't got the hinge on here. There's our inverter and our batteries. Solar showing almost 5 amps of charge already. That's good. Doesn't get much better than that this time of year. Some gas cans and some water cans. Tie them all together so they don't blow away. As long as one of them is full, we don't lose them all. You look like hell. Almost home sweet home. I'm finding I like sleeping in the truck. It works out pretty good. Coffee from yesterday that I warmed up in there. So, okay, we're gonna need water so we can do oatmeal. I'll be boiling up a cup of water for the oatmeal. It's got a ways to go. Plan for this week, I'm going to be using this camera. This is a GoPro Session. It's the little one. I'm going to use that for my day-to-day life camera and just kind of get an idea of all the stuff I do during the week. This is Tuesday, so I go back to work. So noon I'll start freaking out and running around looking for everything I should have already packed by now, but I never do. That's hot. So what I should be doing is sorting the laundry, because I'll have my weekend's worth of laundry and then the week's, for the work clothes for the week, right? Okay, not get too much, so we can put this back in the measuring cup just because it's empty. And we dump our pre-measured water. One of the things I will be doing, the stove will go with us. That's now clean. I'm going to measure out oatmeal for the week. This butane stove's awesome. Now it's hot. Shut it down. Just like so. This shelf was made out of the bottom of some bus seats. Had to reuse a bunch of those. This over here, that's a pretty clean one. Just wipe it off. Rinse it. We'll say it's good enough for now. Then I'll clean dishes in a little bit here. I don't see any sign that any of my water jugs froze, although I did have ice outside when I came back, so it had snowed here. I did see a little bit of snow in a spot where the sun never got to it. And there's a water tub sitting outside that had a couple inches of water, so it may have snowed a lot. Okay, so this is called the Aquabot. I've talked about this before. Pump it up. That's my source of running water. Works out okay. To the command center. I don't know if this ever... I usually show the video from this direction, right? I'm sitting here. But when what I'm seeing, I've got the laptop. Oh, this is what I have the phone sitting on. Last night I was watching some downloaded TV shows, so I just set that there and that works pretty good. Made that on a 3D printer, geez, quite a while ago. Get that out of the way. Got a little tiny heater that does work. I can run that off the inverter. It pulls about 300 watts. That's the camera I usually use. There's my water bill that I'm trying to remember not to forget. Yeah, remember not to forget. Yeah, oh, it's still about 8:30. Cheers. And what ends up happening out here is I had a lot of projects that were going in different directions, and I ended up, finishing out this year. I've been out here over 6 months now. I've got a lot of half-finished things that just got abandoned at some point. So what I'm looking at now is some of them were still good ideas, I just didn't get them in the right order. So my plan will be I'm going to stay in the bus and the truck camper for the winter. I'm only out here 3 nights, kind of like. So I get out here early Sunday morning, like about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then now it's Tuesday morning and I'm leaving. So now that I'm basically caught up on doing the videos, I mean, all of the videos for the last 6 months are now edited and on YouTube, which is a great feeling because I was so far behind for so long. So maybe I'll just hold this for a while. Brr. A little bit cold in here still, not too bad. Alright, we'll do the simulcast. So going, okay, good. So it's whatever time it was. 1:30, 1:35, something like that. Last little bit of sandwich, a cup of coffee I'll take with me. Laundry's packed and out in the truck. Dishes are cleaned. Trash in the bag, get ready to take that out. Just a couple last little things. Basically, we're on time. I'd like to be out of here by 1, but I got enough time. If I make it out of here by 2, then I'm still okay. Every week it seems like the franticness of finding all my stuff and running around in circles and freaking out and just normal stuff. So anyhow, I think when I look forward to retirement, that's the thing I'm going to like the most, is just not, not scrambling all the time. Do the thing I want to do. And there was something that I put on my praxis this morning.
I do not remember the words, but I remember thinking of this a few times and then forgetting it again. It's one of those lessons I have to keep learning over and over. If I worked as hard for myself as what I do for, you know, my job, life would be a whole lot better, I think. I'm going to take a keyboard with me, and I can't remember if this is a good one or not. Hopefully it is. I've got a trackball and a keyboard I take with me, and then I can leave the other trackball and clip and keyboard here. So anyway, shut the inverter off. Power 13.1, that's good. I didn't use it very much today, and I ran the generator yesterday to bring it up, so we should be in good shape for the rest of the week then, which I'm not here anyway. So if I leave it low, even with reduced sun, I still get enough sun to charge it during the week. So by the time I get back, I typically have pretty much a full battery bank. So yeah, all right, that's basically it for now. Off we go. Oh, I am going to change first, but you know, you get the idea. Okay, quick look around, make sure I didn't leave anything stupid going. Inverter is off. Random experiments and piles of stuff. Dishes are done. Got the laptop with me. Seems weird to be seeing that camera in the shot instead of using that camera. Alright, off we go. So what we're going to do, get the bus closed up. Still use the original bus door. High tech all the way. I like to do one quick walk around just to be sure, because you always see one thing you forgot. Inverter's off. Everything's tied down. Not going to fly away. Still haven't made the cover for the generator. Yep, everything looks good. There's a little bit of water from the rain or snow that was empty when I left last time. Alright, off we go. Tailgate closed up. Alright. Running a little bit late, but that's relative. Now for today, let's see if we can make this work. We will do how about that? That should work. Had this dash mount for quite a while and hardly ever used it, so. Seatbelt on. Fiddling with all the cables for chargers here. One thing I'm really not taking advantage of yet that I should be is I'm driving for 2 hours. I should be able to charge a battery pack while I'm driving. And an idea that occurred to me a couple days ago for some reason, I don't know why I hadn't thought of it before. Let me back up a second. If you get 2 batteries in a vehicle, or 2 batteries in general for that matter, eventually they'll go out of balance and one battery will get messed up and the other one will never really get charged. One overcharges and one never charges. Path of least resistance or whatnot. So I used to have a couple of vans and I had a starting battery and a house battery in them, so I could run my accessories off of the second battery, and then when I started up the vehicle they would link up and then it would recharge the house battery automatically. But I think I was probably screwing up those batteries because it seemed like I had a shorter life than normal off of my starting battery. Okay. So I was probably overcharging the starting battery because once I started they'd link up. Well, so what I found of just a couple of days ago, those big deep cycle batteries I have marine grade batteries, and they could start the vehicle. So then I thought, what about if I just started the vehicle off of the house battery and eliminated the starting battery? It would probably work. My inverter will automatically disconnect at about 10.5 volts, and if I had 3 or 4 of those giant batteries, I would not have any trouble starting the truck. So that might be something for experimenting with later. Take out the starting battery and see if I can run off one of the deep cycles. Alright, since it's a ranch, we have a gate that just makes it feel more real. Drive through the gate. Don't forget to close it. Have done that before. Boop. Alright, off we go. I'm going to stop the camera. From here it's about 10 miles of really bumpy, gravelly road to the county road, which is paved, and then we get to the town, and then we get to the freeway. Or later. Parts of the road aren't too bad. We got about 45 right now. And then we'll be slamming on the brakes when we hit a rough spot again. Every day it seems like it's a different road. I've actually seen a cow right next to that sign one time. It's the funniest thing ever. Little shot downtown. Stop at the post office to pick up my mail and possibly packages. Irony is I work for the post office and I gotta drive 100 miles from here to get to work. The person who works here lives halfway to work. Let's see, from here, I always figure it works out to 90 miles in about 90 minutes. Should be okay. Freeway's just in front of us. And life is good. It's far enough that by the time I get to work, I'm hungry again, even though I just ate when I left home. Right there where he's turning in on the left, that big building there is the library. That's where I spend a lot of my afternoons before I go to work. It's after 3:30, so we don't have to worry about the school zone here. This building surrounded by the brick wall on the right is the vehicle maintenance facility, VMF. This is where I was trying to get a job at. Over a year I waited, never got a chance. Same idea as where I worked at the VMF in Austin. That seems like a million years ago, instead of 6 or 7 months. Alright, commence the soul sucking. Pull out my badge, be ready to punch in here. And since my window doesn't work, open the door, unlock the door, open the door. Beep. We're officially scanned in. The government knows we're here. I don't know if that makes me feel any better or not. Alright, that's enough of that. This spot is fairly level, and the street light in this corner of the parking lot doesn't work, so it's nice and dark. And I'm far enough away from everybody else. There's a couple people parked over here, but it's basically I got this corner of the parking lot to myself. Makes it nice for camping. So I come out of work at night, jump in the back of the truck. This is where I sleep. If I was a better driver, I could nail this parking spot in one try, but it usually takes me a couple tries for some reason. Alright. Here we are. This is why I'm so excited to be at Workface. So let's see, while we're here, shut the truck off. I do this a lot so I don't walk off without my keys. Got my lunch ready to go, except this is the fun part about living in your truck. All your extra food is behind the seat, so I'll load some snacks in my lunch bag. I made sandwiches before I left home, and drinks, so that's ready. Okay, lunch is ready. So, I got a few minutes before I gotta be in there. Mail call. Homebrew Wind Power. This is a book recommended. Teaches you how to build a windmill. .300 pages, that's pretty cool. I got about 1 or 2 days a week where the wind just blows like crazy out of my property. And then other days, like yesterday and the day before, it was dead calm. I mean, it was creepy. It was so calm. And so on the windy days, of course, I get excited. I'm going to build a wind turbine. And then you have days like yesterday where the wind does not blow at all. And you're like, huh. So my plan is wind turbine. I've already got the solar panels, and I'm running really cheap, low-power panels, but they are fairly inexpensive and easy to set up and also easy to get. Good quality panels, you end up having to get them shipped from somewhere, whereas Harbor Freight panels are just, you just drive into town and get another kit. So my thinking was, for simplicity, get the cheaper ones first, test out the waters, and kind of learn what do I need. And I'm finding that most weeks I don't use the generator at all, so I've got enough already, and I'm only getting 300 watt hours, something like that. 300 watt kits, 3 100 watt kits, and since I'm only out there on my weekends, I've got enough power saved up during the week such that I could probably spend another day out there before I ran out of power. Anyway, so the idea of the wind turbine would just give me more power once in a while and have that feed into the same battery bank. Is the plan. You know, it is when you get to work and you really don't want to go in. Yeah. I'm not sure how good that's going to look, but it's still me. You get the idea. Yeah. Oh man, it's cold. I've got a computer display inside that once in a while shows you the weather, and it said it was 40 degrees, but I don't know, I think there's frost out here already. So, another 8-hour shift done. The way they're working it right now, they can, especially for Christmas season, they can ask you to stay 2 hours or possibly even 4 hours, depending how much mail volume we got. But they have to ask you more than half an hour before the end of this end of your shift. So let's see, now it's about 12:45, so we got off at 12:30. So you're looking at the clock, and the closer to 12 o'clock it gets, you're kind of peeking around to see if there's any supervisors about to nab you. And if they don't get to you before 12 o'clock, you're home free. So I had really expected a lot more overtime this year. They kept, earlier they'd ask if you wanted to sign up for voluntary overtime, and I'm like, nah, because I know, I figured we're going to get enough of it this year at Christmas time. And so far it hasn't happened, which I'm quite okay with. So, I don't know. It's not a horrible job, but I look sometimes at, I've got so many years until retirement, and it feels like a prison sentence. So I that's probably not the best way to look at it. So what we're doing, I'm digging around and found us. We got a box of plastic spoons, and today's after work meal is beefaroni. Yay. Cold from the can, just the way I like it. Anyway, Facebook is still alive. That's a good sign. I used to have over 1,500 friends. Not even worth putting both hands up for that. And there was about 4 people I actually talked to, so I went through and weeded them out one time. And I felt very much lighter. It's a good way to lose weight if you just get rid of about 1,450 friends. I think I'm down to 100, 150 now, something like that. Airplane mode, save some of my data plan. Let that charge. One of the things I don't have yet is power in the back that I can charge my phone on. That was something I was supposed to be doing this weekend. I just never got around to it. So I'm a slacker. I do have lights back there though, such as they are. Not even a flashlight. This is actually something stapled up to the wall, or maybe the ceiling. All right, dinner is served. This time of year, I can't even comment on my lack of refrigeration. It's more a matter of trying to keep things from freezing. Let's see. So 12:30, 12:40, something like that. Now that I got the back closed in a lot better, it used to be when I first built the original camper shell, it was pretty open. Like the back didn't have a door; it was just completely open. So I'd see the sunrise at 6 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I'd be like, it's bright. So now I can actually sleep. I may sleep until 10 o'clock or so. And then I'll wake up, I'll go to the gym. I've got a gym membership which I use exclusively for using their bathroom and taking a shower. Do that 2 or 3 times a week depending on how things are going. That'll be Wednesday. After the gym, I usually cook breakfast out in the parking lot, just oatmeal, and warm up some coffee. I brought a few cups worth of coffee from the bus. Usually I make a great big giant, I don't think I showed that on here, but I've got one of those big 40 cup coffee makers, and I make that the first day I'm back on the ranch, and then I just heat it up after that, so warm up 1 cup at a time kind of thing. So it'll be oatmeal, and I got some bagels and the coffee. Once breakfast is done, then I go to the library where they've got free Wi-Fi and usually plugins. Up until now, I've been editing every day, catching up on all the videos that I shot in the last 6 or 7 months. Now I'm basically caught up again. So now I can get back into writing. So it kind of feels good to get back into that. Anyway, I'm going to shut some lights off, enjoy my dinner, and then go to bed. I'll probably take the camera back there and show the sights such as they are. Okay, dinner is done. Now we go to bed. So make sure we got keys. Yep, got keys. Sure, done. Always one. Now we can go. Alright. I might even be able to see this. So, tailgate down. Reach through it for the hidden secret latch. Then, might need one more hand to do this here. There we go.
one light. And then, I can see, we've got another light. And this is the cool one because it might even work. We got a dimmer on this one. Kind of bright. Not too bad. Don't mind the wire. Oh, okay, so it's freaking freezing in here still, so great. Now what we end up doing is, oh, I knew I was going to forget one thing. Okay, stay tuned. I'll be right back. Sure, that'll work. It's gonna get crowded in here. Okay, now we're ready. Now, a little bit of gymnastics is required to get settled, and then we'll be okay after that. So I got one hamper's clean laundry, and the other one is dirty. So I think the dirty one under the bed. I built this, I've got a lot of room under the bed. It's just not well organized yet. And the clean one, put down here where I can get to it. Huh. I have a towel in here. Well, I hope I got a towel up front. So we're going to put some clean clothes on tonight. Sleep in my sweats. I always notice that. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting situated. I've been noticing after working that my socks are always wet. Sweats on and clean socks, it seems to make things more comfortable. And then the other thing I brought in was, oh, there's another blanket. Okay, cool. I have got all kinds of stuff I don't need here. Little pair of socks. Noticed the last couple nights the bed was pretty cold and I had a hard time falling asleep with just regular blankets and stuff. So I've also got a very warm sleeping bag. I'm going to try that tonight. There. Now the best thing about this really for right now, before I finished the camper, I couldn't leave all this stuff back here because one, it was just completely open and anybody walking by would see it. And I don't know if anybody would steal your sleeping bag, but you don't want to take a chance. But the worst thing was the road I live on is like gravel and really dirty, right? So you'd drive down 10 miles of bad gravel road and all your clothes and everything would just be just what's the word? Well, dirty, dusty, soaked in dust, coated in dust. I knew if I thought about it long enough. All right, now this is cheating, I know, but there we go. Whoosh! One of these days, this is going to explode. until then. And if you run this long enough, eventually the ceiling starts to get pretty warm, so that's a good time to stop. Alright, so that one we don't need. This one will turn down. I don't know how sensitive that camera is. I haven't done a lot of testing with that, but I'm going to save some batteries on my little light here. That'll be fine. That'll probably last all week. That light that we're using there, it's one I built. It's got 3 lithium batteries in it. It puts out 12 volts. It used to have a cigarette or a USB charger. That quit working the last time I took it apart, so I guess I broke something. That made me sad. Anyway, so it's got a built-in light of its own, and then it's got external power ports, which is what I'm using to run this light. And on the wall right above the camera, there's a dimmer. So I can dim it right down and make it bright, which is kind of handy. Not so much for mood lighting. I've noticed that the dimmer the light is, the longer the battery lasts. Seems kind of intuitive, I suppose. So, and that's about a foot worth of LED light. Same setup as what I got in the bus. And since I knew it worked so good there, I figured we'd do it out here. Always good to get your boots off. This week on the floor, I've got some floor pad mat. It's kind of like it's called the anti-fatigue mat. It's for like if you're standing at your workbench or something. Harbor Freight, I think it was $10, something like that. So I got half of it in here, half of it was in the bus under the desk where my feet would be when I'm sitting. It made a difference. So it's noticeably warmer to my feet just being down there. So it's a good investment already. That down there. Socks. Alright, yeah, life is good. I was going to bring one of the things I should probably do, I've got the laptop in the front. Well, I don't have power back here yet. Eventually I'm going to probably have another battery bank back here like what I have in the bus. Maybe 2 batteries. And run a wire up to the front so I can charge when I'm driving. I think that would make a lot of sense. And then that's much better. Nothing like dry socks. Alright, I'm going to do this for my own amusement. I don't know. This camera I don't have enough experience with to see how well it works, but that's my propane heater. Mr. Heater portable buddy heater uses a little propane canister. The sides are plastic. They're cold. The top handle is cold. The underside is cold. The center section is metal, and what it's got is the part that glows. That's what feels really good. But underneath it's also got a row of air vents that it pulls air behind that, and then out the top you get a lot of convection heating. So you get the infrared radiating, but you also have convection heating where the air is getting warm coming out. So in the confined space, I'm going to kind of keep an eye on how warm the ceiling is getting, since that's exposed wood. Since I'd rather not catch on fire back here. But really good heater. I really enjoy using it. I've used it a couple times tent camping. With this truck, I had a tent the first couple times I came out to my property, and summertime obviously it wasn't cold, but wintertime, March, springtime I guess, I came out and I had a feeling it was going to be pretty cold, so I brought the heater, and man, was I ever glad I did, because you could just set the heater outside the tent and have it kind of shine inward, and it worked out really well. Run it for 15 minutes, warm up the inside of the tent, then shut it off, and once you crawled in the sleeping bag, you were set.
So, yeah, kind of cozy. Okay, it's a little bit after 1 o'clock in the morning. The nice thing is my shift doesn't start until 4 in the afternoon, right? So it's not like, oh my god, I have to go to sleep right away so that I can wake up on time. It's not an issue. Get up and kind of screw around for a few hours and then go to work by 4. You got plenty of time. So getting to work from home is where I get in, where I end up being late or something. But that's starting to warm up now. So, oh, that's what I always forget to do. Open up the sleeping bag and let the inside warm up, because that would make a difference. Yeah, the sleeping bag is almost cheating. I tested well below freezing. I've woken up where the bag was frozen. I got rained on the Alaska trip, and all my gear, my clothes were wet. I just crawled in the sleeping bag and fell asleep, and I woke up the next morning and I had frost on my face, and the bag felt really weird. It was frozen, so it was really stiff. But I woke up, I was fine. I was wearing sweats again inside, and even though I was wet, I was warm, so you can't beat that. Alright, heater goes off, and to bed. See you in the morning.